Welcome back, guys. We're taking a look at some of the highlights from round number 3. Merrill, wow, nice play by him. Didn't really get to see that one, but eventually does get taken out. He was all alone in there, but Konga Red did win this fight over Sosnovka Military Islands.
And that Konga Red holding this position for a very long time in Korean PUBG. Over time, you just want to talk about, what is your home here? Definitely not his style, right here style. Kamikaze mission, right?
I love that play. Like, if he could just open the door first and then do that, could have worked out. This was a bit unfortunate for Obito. Notice they took a little bit of damage, but Mira finished him off.
Good idea there, but they didn't get the execution right. See the other interesting teams coming in. For a lot of plays around huts was kind of the point of the story here in Erangel for round 3.
See just how powerful the SKS is still on this older patch. Just 1, 2, 3, you're down, and that's exactly what happened.
There's a reason why they nerfed it, PUBG 4.
Sonic gets knocked off there, and Max still mad. You may feel bad for them in this shot, but they end up winning the entire thing with just 2 members.
So Matt, very, very good of just pulling through the kind of frustrations of doing really well in first 2 rounds and really not being rewarded with a chicken dinner. This time around, they just pulled off the same consistent performance this time. Get the execution right where it was needed at the late game. They do get the chicken dinner for the first time here in this thing.
Perfect grenade from Sinon, who, well, he brought it into second place for WGS, so a fantastic game overall for that player.
That's what they do here, because Genji Gold, they've been pretty good in today's games as well. Not just in Miramar, but in Erangel in this 3rd round, they've shown a lot of promise.
Yeah. Michael here for Astric. He finishes off MBG Red, but does get taken out himself.
Very nicely done there by Eska. On the clutch, really, when this team really needed it. That grenade, even very nicely done.
Somehow Ungjin stays alive throughout all the grenades, and this is the highlight play for me. Sinon from behind onto Blaster X, gets Clader with the perfect grenade.
That was good.
It was perfect. It knocked him down, killed him. Ungjin with another grenade. This was all about the grenades this game. As Sinon also does get taken out for the win for Max Still Mad.
I have a feeling that, Genji Gold is going to be on top. Okay, so that's a different story right now because Genji Gold had the chicken dinner in round 2. But they, just like Max Still Mad, they had really good round 1, and now they had a really good round 3, coming up at top 3. So Max Still Mad, although they did have a really good first 2 rounds and got that chicken dinner in 3rd, Genji Gold does just a little bit better, 75 points in their head right now.
Yeah, this is the consistency we're talking about. These 2 teams now have separated themselves from the next best team. Afrika Freaks Fatal there in 3rd place is about 400 points behind Max Still Mad. So really, today's first place should come down to those 2 teams at the top.
Looking at what that means, though, consistency is so important for not even just talking about what it means for each day in and each day out, and you have to get the good performances going in every round. You can't just falter on one round expecting to keep your standing strong. And Genji Gold, see with all these fans here cheering on for their squad here, feeling very good.
Clader.
Hashtag Clader.
I'm going to add that to every tweet I ever make from now on.
I'll be watching.
Seems seems reasonable.
Eska right there on the drawings here.
King Danka. Is that the nickname for Eska?
It's like
King Danka.
It's like instead of saying Eska, you just put the king at the very top. Dang just means you're just like cool, you're the best, and and just ending off
King Best Eska. I love him.
King Best Eska. That's what they do. They like to add king and god and all these little adjectives to the mix there. That's the Korean meme nowadays. Looking good here, but Eska definitely deserving of all that praise. I mean, he's been doing very, very well in the first 2 rounds. Round 3 was no disappointing either. Just talking about his clutch plays when his team needed it the most and gets to a top 3 position, which is no slouch for this team right now. Yeah,
and it's good that they're on top because a ton of the people that came down to watch Genji Gold tonight, they wanted them to win, and it looks like they're doing quite well. I didn't get to see exactly where Cloud9 was as we were kind of highlighting the top two teams. But either way, it's going to come down to this last fight, guys. FPP on Erangel to finish us off. Let's jump into it right now. Off we do go. That's a very northern side plane route. Certainly the Georgia Bowl teams are going to be very happy about that one. You get to drop fast, you get to drop furious, and you get to loot very fast too.
Teams that will be less happy. I was talking about Genji Gold, Nova Rupnoye, going to be away from their tracks here. Talking about Sandbox Recon. They were originally the team that went over to military base in round 3. But I imagine, after that defeat they've suffered right at the island from Kong the Red, that will probably mean that they will not return back to the military base, might find themselves an additional home here. But talking about the southern part, Valdez, that you were talking about with Nova Rupnoye and also military base, gonna have a hard time to find a vehicle to get across there, and even have a decent amount of time to farm out the area before moving on.
Yeah. Taking a look already at the teams that want to drop towards Georgia Bowl. Even a team going to Zarky. We don't get to see that very often.
In Sandbox Recon.
Yeah.
You got to imagine that, once you did lose out in that military base fight in round 3, just wanted to find an additional home that could feel very safe about. And if they
That's a good point.
They did make that decision onto Zarky. Has been unoccupied with Quadro, obviously the usual homeowners in that aspect, missing from today's ANC match.
Yeah. You notice that some teams like to take the high road and say, okay, it's a bad flight path. We lost over at the island. Let's move away to a safer, more fast location that we can drop out of the plane. And I like that move out of Sandbox. But we're taking a look at the map, and Kong the Red Dot, they're still heading down south. We'll see if they make it all the way down towards that military island.
Pachinki here, are they going to be rivaled by Kong the Red Dot? That's going to be an interesting question to answer, because we do like to see Kong the Red Dot go to the military base, but those not feel. But this is going to be the circle if we get to see it very, very soon. It's going to be very, very crucial one to see. This is going to allow them to go to the military base. Kong the Red Dot is going to think things over before they have to move on here.
Yeah, well, certainly you could just grab a couple cars and go down towards the military base and be very happy about that. I think that would be the strategy for me if I were in this one. And then Sandbox, they're kicking themselves. They're like, hey, we should have just fought them again.
And you heard it screaming from the fans. Came all the way from the Genji fans here. Really happy about the fact that, oh, look at this. It's just a distance fake fight right here.
It was the fight over the car, and, well, one man has an AK, another one had nothing. And Kong the Red Dot, at least Curious, will not be joining his team down on military base.
You see Juan showing once again that Entus Force is better at killing people with vehicles rather than guns, once again.
I think they need to work on killing people with their guns, Joel.
Maybe that's the primary objective of PUBG, if I can say for myself, Valdez.
Yeah, after round 3, I felt like the grenades were pretty good too.
Yeah.
But
vehicle as the main offensive tool to kill your opponents. Probably explains why. Okay, talking about what was that team right now we just looked at?
Max still mad after winning round 3.
Just said that he's an Indian boy.
Yeah, I don't get the reference.
It's a famous song in Korea, back in the day. But look at C9. That's the biggest C9 fan right there. If you don't know him, he's DDSG from RG Centurion, former player for Cloud9. He has all the rights in the world to do anything right now, and no one will blame him for it, because he is the champion of PSS Season 1. He won that finals, feeling very good about himself around this new team. And really feels great to cheer on for his older team right now with Cloud9.
Yeah, saying see you in the finals, as they did get rank 9 after the first day, so that's pretty good. Shadow's actually going to take some shots with the pistol.
Freaks Fatal made their way into the military base, while now Genji Golden trying to just get to Nova early, thinking that no one's going to be around. Going to be right for the moment, but at the moment, just Freaks Fatal has to make sure they're in the wits about, talking about where Genji Gold might be at.
Papo had 446 damage.
Average.
That's insanity.
Yeah, it's
are we sure that's average, or was that just from the last fight?
We have a caster back at OGN named Ending Life.
Yes.
kind of looks like him, you know, when he plays his games with us.
Yeah.
He gets that 446 average damage, while the rest of us just are happy enough with that 100 damage average.
Look at Danawa. Numbers not very flattering for this team, as Hongeldong is the only person that's above average at 188 damage.
And Hongeldong's the only player with a 3-digit number on that damage chart. So
yeah.
a bit of an embarrassment for Danawa, of course.
I wanted to let the numbers do the talking, but Joel was like, no, look at their damage.
No, I'll let the number do the talking to me, then I'll do the talking.
Yeah, you're like, by the way,
yeah, they're bad.
This is a big deal.
They're bad. So
It
Danawa,
actually is, yeah.
that is actually terrible. For 3 players to not even reach 3 digits on your average damage chart just shows that it hasn't been working out for Danawa, and just kind of reflective on the chart when it comes to the standings, what the players have done so far.
And you'll notice what they've done in this game, too. They took some cars. They avoided looting anything. They're not going into the military base. They're just doing the outer lying compounds, which means their loot shouldn't be that great. They don't want to fight anyone. They just want to stay away from everyone. So kind of reflects their damage numbers, if I should say so myself.
Trigger fakes fatal. 2 members right above that bridge, while the other 2 are already in military base. Going to spot MK on the left there. Are they going to do anything about this? Jazz now, he's going to be on the tracks here.
Okay. AFF is chasing AFF Jesna. He's got the faster car. Could make this interesting with the maneuver. Trying not to get spun out, though, and just drive past him, as the race is won by AFF.
Guys, just a reminder, this is PUBG, not Fast and the Furious. Jasna losing out with his UAZ, fittingly. He's going to look at this. Rest of the members of Figure Freaks Fatal very aware that AFF is going to be on the way here.
Yeah, AFF just running straight into Roa. Not able to land a single shot onto AFF.
Bit of an embarrassment right there. Of course, with the UMP, not the most reliable weapon. And that mid-range shots right there.
Oh, looks like trying to cross this West River, or the West Bridge, rather. And trying to hold this down is WNV. Oh, what grenade! Yellies says, welcome to Korea. Knocks a couple of them down right as you go, saying, this is our bridge.
That's a bloody welcome if I've ever seen one. Yo, and Indigo getting the rest of the members of WNV as well.
Yeah, I'm going to take out at least April, but NC001 does some work himself, trying to take out Indigo here now. One more shot does it, and finally a kill on the board here for WNV.
Just means that the other 3 members of the Enders Force will be happy to just leave this area. Like good practice Indigo with Mad Cow, finding that his vehicle wasn't to his suitings.
Yeah. Well, he's just gonna play the I'm gonna swim across this entire river game with barely any loot.
It just goes to show you that this will be tough rotation for many of the teams who will be prioritizing making it to the military base, looking like this first circle is going to lead on to an eventual military base ending. We'll see what that happens here with Nalbin, just trying to stick with his teammates with Media Bridge Red.
They finally begin to take some shots here against Mira. Got a nice suppressed gun for Papi Rio. But Mira gets away safe and sound, just taking a little bit of damage on his way out.
WGS here at Primorsk. Gonna find some boats and try to make it to the military base in that order. Just trying to farm out the most of this area because it is a bit on the south, so they're not in too much of a rush. Trying to escape from there. Has to be careful, but a lot of these teams like now, you talked about Bridge being a factor where, you know, it could be very much well gate kept by a couple of teams, and it just means that Media Bridge Red just wants to swim across. It's not about the speed, it's about, you know, the accuracy of getting there, and be fine for now, but Kong the Red are doing the same.
Well, we mentioned how rotations are hard in this kind of circle. We haven't seen much of Cloud9, and that's because on this map they like to farm the top right. And it also means that everybody's going to get in one boat and be in the blue for a long time and rotate all the way down.
Valdez, do I sense week 1 Cloud9 action right here? 4 people in one boat. There's gonna be
I mean, if that's all you can find, well, you got to make do with what you have.
And there's going to be 1 billion people down in military base ready to shoot down at that silver lining. And that's going to be a bunch of golden goblins right there who have found out the entirety of Stalber and Kameshki.
Taking a look at Asterisk now. This is another one of these teams that struggled to rotate from the north side. They are right north of the west bridge to the military island. So they are in the white circle, at least so far.
Frigate Freaks Fatal finding their home in military base. One of the first pioneers into that circle. Talking about when that opened up. WGS, talking about Lamberton, joining the rest of his team in Permorth. They probably can travel by the boat to get to the next location.
Taking a look at another team that decided to rotate by boat. A boatation, if you will. Team Clux, two of them. They actually have two boats, I believe. It looks like Ares went ahead.
Yeah, 3-1 split here.
Yeah.
Ares is on the front, trying to make sure that anyone shooting at him should probably prompt the other three behind him to make a little bit of a detour to make sure they get there a lot safer.
Yeah. Ares is the order, the shot caller is what we like to say in English.
IGL.
So, yeah, he's the one in the front. He says what they're going to do next. It does make sense. Of course, as this game is, we're having a little bit of a lull right now, but you guys should be focusing on the two teams at the top. Gen G Gold is in first. Max Still Mad is in second. They're going to be fighting for that top spot. There are not many other teams that can fight for a top 2 spot, at least, between those two, because they've separated themselves so well. So unless one of them goes out in 20th, they should have netted themselves at least a top 2, but they'll be fighting for that #1 spot, Joel.
Speaking of 20th, they're probably going to have a hard time getting to 20 because of this team right here. Entus Force, they've been quite bad. I mean, recently, so you got to give them that, and they need some kind of waking up from their dreams here, because their dreams have been quite a bit of nightmares. The way they couldn't fish off the salt, but it's next circle here.
Yeah, this is a... where is Gold, actually? They're, okay, they're on the south side, actually, of this white circle right now. Simpson just getting knocked. They're going to res up. They might be flanked by Team Clux. I would love to get a look at that fight, because it's going to be very important for the standings, of course.
Still looking at Media Bridge, though. Just looking towards Detonator.
Trying to get some suppressed sounds, and he gets down Nalbin. Obliterates him from behind. Had no idea where that was coming from. Suppressor working out well, and Nalbin, just more unfortunate stuff happening to that guy.
And more importantly, the other 3 members were so far away from Nalbin, and Nalbin could not be supported with the cover. As soon as he heard the suppressed shots with the Scar, just means that you have to be careful in the way they move around. And 3 members of MK also trying to do the same thing, trying to find their next location. They're in the center of the circle right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a good spot for them, but they're up against Danoa, who have sights on MK right now, 4-on-3. MK, of course, doesn't need to fight with their position. They have lots of hills for cover to cover them for now. Max Still Mad, we're finally getting a look at them, and they have rotated all the way to the west bridge, in fact. So they're taking the long way around this one.
Still within the circle, though. Oh, what? Okay, so that's going to take a lot less damage than what I expected.
I mean, you only have one way to rotate, I suppose, if you want to be super safe.
All right, whatever it takes, says over there on that occasion. He is the in-game leader for this team. That's right here.
Actual VIP being shot down by their sister team. Although not many of those shots hitting the player. I'm sure his car is getting very, very low as we speak. Now Munoi getting extremely close to Sonic here. He's actually just going to drive straight into the water to try to survive.
Yeah, it's going to be fine for now. And still outside the circle right now. Asterisk trying to do the same, trying to get the kills here.
Nicely done. Oa, after an interesting jump off the bridge, comes back and gets a kill for himself.
You know, I would have to imagine that jump off was an accident. There was not really a big reason of why he can jump out of there. Taking a lot of knock damage for really nothing there, but does get a kill off of it, returning back to the bridge.
Asterisk is gatekeeping pretty hard right now, and that's bad news for Max Still Mad, because, as I said before, they're in second place. They need to do better than at least Gen G Gold if they want to get first, but also they don't want to go out in 20th. But they got to cross a very, very congested bridge right now.
C9 did make their way into Novo. That long navigation across the sea, and all 4 members are in, and no one's really at Nova at the moment. It's in the circle. Can feel pretty good about their position until the next one occurs.
It's certainly a great spot for them, even though Novo is pretty much entirely looted. They can just sit back, relax. There's no other team anywhere near them, really. Let's take a look now at WGS. A bit of a later rotation from them as well on the southeast side. Here comes Max Nomad, though. This is what I was talking about, trying to cross this bridge. It's going to be up to Oa to gatekeep 4 members of Max Nomad. Can he do it is the question.
He gets some crucial knocks here. I would imagine this is what's happening right now.
Trying to knock him down. He can't actually get the knock in the end, though. Fires so many shots, cannot knock him out of the car. And now he's going to be charged by Sonic here. Wants to open up the bridge for his team. Can't quite land the shots just yet. Oh, I'm going to blow up his own car. He's going to go down with it, he says. And meanwhile, the rest of the team is shooting at Max Still Mad from far away. Oa does go down, but so does Uri. And take a look at VZ. Gets another knock on the Ujin. And down will go him. So only 2 members left standing right now for Max Still Mad.
Astric wanted to get all the kills initially, but did not get it with Oa going down. This means this gatekeeping duty will probably come to termination, as the other teams can make their entrance now a little bit safer into the next circle that just opened up.
Interestingly nice spot for Detonator. Up there all alone, there shouldn't be anyone behind them in the river. They got a nice large compound to hold down, very close to the center.
So where Genji Gold is right now, right outside the circle for most of these members. Gonna have to find a way in. Max Nomad now getting a free pass across that bridge here.
They finally make it over. They still have 3 members left, so their hopes are not dashed just yet.
NCO1, the last surviving member, just trying to go at Meryl. I think that he might be the last member for Kong the Red Dawn.
Okay. Looks like Mad Cow should go down here. Dan can't really get to him to get the res, although he is going to lay down a smoke. Let's see if Yak can finish him off.
Switches angle right here, and Yak does get the knock here.
Nicely done. Curate's still alive, so Axos Indigo is still in. We did have 1 team go out. Not sure exactly who that was, but it does mean that Max Still Mad won't get 20th at least.
This one will be in 20th. It's going to be away from their tracks, but Max Still Mad wants to have very close to a top 5 finish, which would probably guarantee, as long as Genji Gold does not get another chicken dinner, but nothing can be guaranteed quite yet because we still have both teams seemingly pretty safe around their location trying to get to the next rotation there.
Michael here. They've given up being paid off by Genji, trying to keep the bridge against them. Not actually paid off, but that's just the way that it looked as they were desperately trying to hold that bridge.
It's the conspiracy right there from Astric, just doing the day job of being PUBG players, the night job of trying to get paid by Genji Gold to do their things.
It was actually Max Still Mad who decided to rotate all the way safely on the western bridge and kind of got punished for it in the end.
Looking at Genji Gold, of course, one of the 2 teams that we should be focusing on. Who gets the win in this day 3 here. Of course, the week 2 starting us off on Monday. Very interesting to see how Genji Gold pulls this together. An awkward position because they're right on the extreme edge of the circle, so the next circle opening up could play a big part into this one.
Okay, that's not bad for Max Still Mad or Genji Gold. It's a bit closer. Max Still Mad, their situation is that Sonic actually got knocked in the military base, so only 2 members are left, and they're outside the blue right now, so a very dire situation for our 2nd place team currently.
C9 on their way path as well.
And they're going to get a crate. These guys have just avoided everybody on the entire map. They've sailed on through. They're going to get a crate here. It's unbelievable what these guys have been able to pull off.
I thought the Inception was going to be one to greet over that crate, but give it off to one of his teammates, fittingly for in-game leader. Inception. Oh, Catch is not going to get it. It's going to give over to Eureka, maybe?
No, to Suck.
Of course.
Yeah.
None other than.
You got to give it to your shooter, right? You got to give it to the guy who's going to be getting a lot of kills.
Lunatic Flux definitely took evidence. Just witnessing the hearings there. He's going to be firing towards C9, who does have this situation there.
Hancock just ran over Uri. They're trying to survive here and get into the blue, and they're struggling not to kill each other.
Whatever it takes. They're saying whatever it takes. And Hancock and Uri are trying to survive here. Simpson's going to go down in a little bit of whoopsie as well.
Ooh, looks like he got shot perhaps from behind.
Oh, I think he fell down.
Oh, boy.
Took a fall damage. Yeah, look at that. That's kind of his camera angle showing where Simpson went down. That's the trajectory right there, Saldes.
I've had nightmares of that, rock climbing, and you fall down the hill, and then you wake up. But unfortunately, Simpson doesn't get to wake up from this nightmare.
Well, at least it happened in a video game.
Yeah.
Vlad Simpson is still alive and true to this day.
True. Well.
That's some out here.
Oh boy, they're just trying to survive here, but doesn't look like they can really. Hancock though is gonna get one kill, but in the end they all get knocked. Aries gets the kill, and Max still mad. Really unfortunate finish for them. 19th after they were in second place after 3 rounds.
Does this almost guarantee that Genji Gold might get first on the day?
I mean, it definitely should, unless Genji Gold gets knocked out here, right? They're about 400, 500 points ahead. So it's going to be really hard. Probably the third place team would have to overtake them with a fantastic finish.
Probably Simpson, who fell off on the mountain, going to be celebrating while being hurt at the same time.
Yeah.
Be feeling very good about his situation, that he sees the kill feed and sees that Max Nomad is completely out. You see that 19th position.
Yeah, and you see right underneath rank number 2 before this round. So really unfortunate. But they weren't dealt the best hand of cards, of course. The circle was kind of unlucky as they switched to the West Bridge. Asterisk was right there. This is payback, says Ether. But he is going to eventually go down here as well. Bum.
Okay.
Trying to follow them up. Will knock down Lokers.
Sandbox, they're fighting outside the blue here. And they have to be very, very careful in the way they approach this one.
Yeah, nice shot by VZ. Doesn't look like he's going to try to res his buddy Lokers just yet, though. Going to leave him there as Sandbox is right behind him.
Tupac and VZ is going to be the last remaining member for both teams, as they just wait for this next position here. But WGS, not in a bad position themselves, so maybe one of the contentions into getting that first place spot. But still, Genji, very far ahead of everyone, one of the competitions so far in this day.
Lamitan's in a really weird spot where he's outside the blue, but he has eyes on everyone. So he might just sacrifice himself to Sinon. There's not much chance that he can run down the hill and get into the blue anyway. So that might just be his job.
DPG just trying to rush in here. NK is right in front of him, C9 here as well.
They finally have to fight, and in the end, not going to work out. Gun not facing the right direction, as Stingception and Eureka are going to go down here.
An unfortunate situation for C9. We want to see them there. See number 18 finish for the military-based homeowners, calling the red dot. They not getting the homeowner treatment there.
Looks like MK being surrounded right now by Klux. Leklo trying to be a hero once again. Has a couple of kills, will provide the smoke and try to take out their enemy. Looks like they did entirely wipe that squad of MK.
Talk about, this is not a finals. This is where, each team wants to get the best rankings possible. That will snowball onto the next day once they play their next match day. So it just means that all these teams here, they're not playing for nothing. They're playing for the best ranking possible. So this round 4, whatever they can get, is going to be important to kind of carry them on to a better standing for the next time around.
Sut is still alive, and he has an AUG. Not in a bad spot in terms of the circle. He certainly could come behind them and pop a few heads. Klux right now just getting the spoils of war after winning that fight.
Look at this Entus Force here. It's going to be rivaled by DPG. He knows exactly where each other are.
Coming on in there is Media Bridge Gaming's Red. Tank trying to go in.
Oh, look at this. Oh.
Finally, OG and Entus beginning to win some fights as they knock Hongoldong at least.
Back on the action here. DPG versus Entus Force, who's going to get the win here, but switching the action now between these two fights. Knight will still alive without a one member alive.
Circle is right in the south, so Detonator going to be kicking themselves, as well as Nightwolf. Only Sato left available, as the other two were knocked. And going to be pretty good for, actually, Genji Gold. They're not too far away. Juan, the only one left available here, will be taken out as Ojan Entis hits the dirt.
Got the best possible finish by Ojan Entis Force on this round 4, 11. Very good of him.
Certainly an improvement. Team Clux, the amateur team, after having a fantastic round number 1, trying to come back here in round 4 and finish it off.
Fix Fatal on the top hill there. Be looking towards Team Clux, who feels very good about their position, but have to be careful here. But Tuck is going to be the player just trying to rush in here, just snake in. All the other members, especially Team Clux and Fix Fatal, who's going to be fighting over this next circle here.
Yeah. Certainly Fatal has the best position in the circle right now. They do have one member of some team behind them. They didn't see Suck just yet as Loki pops up, but didn't get a spot on him. Should be able to see him eventually now. Clater actually messes up the car as he cannot drive over the hill. Maybe the Dacia will do it.
Clater just going in here. So is Suck ready with that AUG? He has the AUG.
And Clater, he's just focusing on the car right now. He's going to run out, and Suck should have a good spot, but Clater looks like he knows something that Suck doesn't.
Let's go with this. Suck and Clater 1v1. Who's going to win out this one?
He just popped up. Suck must have saw him there. He's just waiting. Look at this. Might as well wait.
Oh, my goodness. Suck. Are you serious? Grenade here. Finish him off right here.
There it is. Should get the knock. There it does. Clater goes down as he screams to his teammates, what the hell? Someone just knocked me. He does go down. Meanwhile, grenades elsewhere as Lunatic Flux having a fight with Donoa right now.
Oh, the flashbang though.
Perfect flashbang. Look at Loki. He's not in a good spot, trying to first aid as he's the only one left available from Genji Gold.
This fight's going to be over right here. Lunatic Flux coming up top in terms of their fight against Donoa. We approach this next circle here.
Okay, circle's fantastic for Team Clux. They have so many trees, and they have position on a Freaks Fatal. Loki, he can't make it in, and they are going to go down in 5th place. Will Genji Gold. So Suck trying to take a fight there against Let Go, but he does get taken out.
Team Clux and Freaks Fatal and Lunatic Flux. 11 players remaining, 4v3 right now in this situation.
Yeah, Lunatic Flux in a weird spot. Shouldn't have a good chance to win this one, as it's 4v2, but they can try to stay alive. Leklo trying to get the grenades down here over the fence, but that's incredibly hard.
Leklo going on the flank here, just trying to provide some vision for the rest of his teammates, and Freaks Fatal is not going to be looking towards this direction in this FPP mode.
Yeah, Leklo not the backup anymore. He is the scout. He is the attacker. Probably got a lot of information for his team right now.
For Lunatic Flux to put some damage onto either of these teams, and it could change the tide how this turns out in the end for the terms of results. Close still here, still looking at the sounds, looking at the vision of where everybody might be in this location.
Gets a knock onto Ares, and that's pretty unfortunate because this is when they wanted to have eyes on a Freaks Fatal moving. They should still have Leklo with the surprise. Here we go, gonna knock down Jesna. Can he get another? The answer might be yes. He gets a lot of the blow, but Leklo will bite the dust eventually.
They're providing coming fire right here. Lunatic Flux sees a Freaks Fatal movie, and that's gonna be them trying to get some additional kills here.
Yeah, this is their chance to really make this round interesting. They can even get in the crate here and get a nice new flashy gun over to Retri. That would be fantastic.
Oh, but look at this. The knocks coming through from Retri onto Shadow. This will be them trying to pick up the victory, but Lunatic Flux, can they do this?
Retri by himself takes out 2. Mira is going to get knocked. And now it's going to be all up to Retri. Alone against 4, or rather 3. You are correct. He wants to get the res on Tamira, but they're looking to get that angle onto Retri. One grenade should do it, and he goes down. That's going to be the win to our amateur team. Team Clux with the victory in round 4.
Team Clux had a really good day in this week 2 chapter performance, and here they are once again looking like they can be showingly so strong, talking about what they can do with all these 4 members and showing that they can put up a good performance even without professional backing, and they do pick up a chicken dinner to round the day off today.
Certainly a bunch of pro teams are going to be looking at this team and saying, they're pretty good. Maybe we should, sponsor them. I wouldn't be surprised, as Team Clux, as you mentioned, fantastic day. Lunatic High Flux, they made it interesting, right? 2v4v4, and they even get the kills onto a Freak of Freaks Fatal. I think it would be a Freak of Freaks Fatal that would be the most disappointed from this certain ending on round 4.
This means that Lunatic High Flux is going to be feeling pretty good about getting second instead of third. Gets them a nice point boost, and we'll see how that really affects the plays here once we do see the final standings of this day 3 here.
Oh. Juan just being cheeky. Nalbin. We didn't get to see this drag derby happening in the middle of the map just yet.
So very sneaky there with the grenade. Had the Chinese team off guard in that instance right there.
There was a lot of bridge camping. I mean, it was it made sense because of the way that the circle happened. Everybody was above the island, and then the circle was the island.
I think if you're a professional player right now, you can expect at every military circle that opens up for the very first circle, you could expect very, very high investment into that bridge camping, as you say, just doing that gatekeeping duties for all the teams trying to travel south from the mainland Erangel. We'll see that examples of that today. We'll see the many kills coming around that bridge today as well.
Yeah, and this isn't 100% locked in for Genji Gold. I'm pretty sure that they did get first, but a Freak of Freaks Fatal with a lot of kills and a 3rd place finish in round 4, it does mean that they have a chance to upset. If not onto Genji Gold, maybe over Max Still Mad in 2nd place.
Team Clux, I wonder what this team can do. I mean, being in that 1st place, how far are they boosted up to the rankings? For the total rankings, that's going to be the interesting one to look at.
We see this last fight as Lunatic High. They lose 2 members, but they win that northern side. This was one of the funniest parts of the entire game, as Suck, with his AUG, he says, nah, I'm not going to use the AUG. I'll just throw a nade.
Clayton just being so sneaky there, just trying to sneak up, and this happens.
He's like, wait, what? See, Lunatic High wins the fight against Danoa. And the rest of Genji Gold couldn't make it in.
Suck did a very good job for his team to finish out in a very high position for his team. So Cloud9, definitely compared to their first performance in PWM in their week 1. Week 2 performance have been a lot better, winning out chicken dinner in round 1 and doing pretty well throughout the other 3 rounds that followed after that.
And it was all eyes on a Freak of Freaks as everyone wanted to take them out. Junsu was about to get the perfect grenade, but then his ally stole the kill away from him. Ares getting the final kill in that one, and Team Clux did win that. Not sure if we're going to get an interview with Team Clux, though, because they did get an interview for the first half, but very curious to see who we will be hearing from as Joel will translate it.
PUBG Warfare Masters completing another day of day 3. A very good job, and let's see what they do, because we had a lot of interesting teams put up some high numbers, some performance with their incredible shooting. We're going to just meet up with the top team here today. We're going to meet up with Simpson from Genji Gold, see how he feels about it. You're the victor of today's matches. How do you feel? You know, 2 days ago, we were talking about, PSS finals. We didn't do so well, and our morale was definitely lowered on that occasion. And today is a good day where our team morale is now back up to normal form now. Of course, we talked about better unity, putting Genji Gold back on track here. And so, talking about last week's games, what was kind of the discussion being went around between the team? We talked about our mechanics being very low, but we were just really talking about mistakes that was on the decision making that didn't go so well last week. We tried to make sure that we limit those mistakes and we consistently get better results, especially this week. Do you feel like you got the plays that you wanted this week? feel like the early game mistakes was definitely limited for this week's games, and during the practice phase, we were getting better in making the better decisions all around. 5th, 1st, and 3rd, and 1st. Just overall right now doing very good. I'm trying to get chicken dinner along with so many top 5 finishes. And just Gen G Gold looked consistent as ever. I feel like today's games really highlighted what Gen G Gold can really do. Feels like the stability was really there for Gen G Gold today. What was the most difficult thing about things that you guys had to overcome in today's games? We always had a hard time in Miramar, but I feel like our Miramar games were pretty satisfactory by our standards. Just leading that onto Erangel made it a lot easier in the end. It was really important that after the 3 rounds that the second and the third game and the first and second place was only 75 points ahead. We felt like, if you get top 5 standings for every single round, we thought that, 75-point difference was a little bit of a surprise for us, and we tried to focus in the end, trying to make sure we have the best round 4 as we can. It was really important that, we get the first place in today's matches so that we get the better scores for the day that will lead us on to the rest of the season to come as well. Gen G Gold just feels like this team gets better as the season goes on, and the other teams really kind of learns from the Gen G Gold strategizing. Feels like just maintaining all 4 members is kind of what Gen G Gold does well. But what is a big secret that gets you guys so much success in the late game? I feel like our mechanics just individually are higher than a lot of the other members in PWM. So when we do have finds, we just usually come out on top because of their kind of the more superior shootings in the end. Really, stability and consistency was the terms for today's game for Gen G, and also really talking about anything you want to talk about in terms of maintaining your position and trying to get the right positions in right situations. If we have many members left remaining in the end of the game, we can just disperse our members a lot more effectively and get the really good effects in terms of the way we can maneuver our members as well. Of course, you guys have to have a lot of fans that cheers you on, probably get you better results than what you would have if you didn't have all the fans to cheer you guys on. But you have a lot of fans cheering on you guys right now. But anything you'd like to say to them right now, who's going to be watching you over right now? We should have a lot of games in PWM left over. Anything you'd like to say to that? We know in the finals, it was hugely disappointing to the fans, and for PWM and every other league to come, we're going to try to make sure we provide an unregrettable results for come. A big congrats obviously to Gen G Gold and Simpson all together as we conclude the interview with him. So you saw the games, Valdez, you saw how they did, really showing consistency all around. How'd you feel about all together?
Yeah, it was a fun day. Certainly some highlight moments for me. Just Sinone coming from behind, Leklo with his 4-man wipe of WGS in round 1. Gen G Gold on top though, no doubt, as we're soon going to get a look at the standings from the results. There it is, Gen G Gold way up on top, and Max still mad. Even though they got 19th place, you see 80 points in round 4, they still get 2nd place overall.
They were only 75 points behind, and we talked about 1 and 2 probably going to be untouched by the rest of the competition, even no matter how bad round 4 ended for any of these teams. And Team Clux, they were the ones to come out on top in round 4, and they get 3rd place position, which is a very good result for these guys, just really racking up the day points as the season goes by. Yeah,
and you take a look at Cloud9 to 5th place this time around, finally having a much better day compared to their first day where they got 20th out of 20 teams. They certainly have turned it around. Props to them for doing exactly that, especially with a lot of strong teams in this one. WGS just right behind them in 6th place.
As with any team, Cloud9, it is now their mission to maintain this top form for the rest of the season, no matter what group they decide to fight against. If it's going to be Argus entering, the recent winners, the champions of PSS Season 1, doesn't matter. Cloud9 has to maintain this form to keep their fans happy. But as I was talking about from the beginning of today's game, it is going to be a game for themselves. You have to play well for the pride of themselves, and Cloud9, I feel like they definitely have that within themselves and have the potential to do well. I think just time will only tell whether Cloud9 can maintain this consistency.
Here we're taking a look at some of the other teams here. Lunatic High Flux, they got a penalty, actually, of 100 points because they showed up late to the broadcast. You don't want to do that, guys. You'll delay everything, and the negative points are granted because of that. Kind of unfortunate.
But it's worth mentioning that Nalvin, we talked about him being absent in round 1. He did get, he only got 1 kill out of all those rounds, so he got 3 points in the end. So in the end, that's
nice.
758. So yeah, so 3 points. I don't know what to do with 3 points, really. It's not even 1 kill.
You just throw him up there and you say, hey, we're sorry you disconnected. You shouldn't have disconnected, I guess. Take a look at the kill rankings here and the squad kill rankings as well. Obviously, the #1 team is going to have the most. Team Clux was racking them up rather, in round 4 especially. That's why they get 28.
Leclos, just super play from this guy. 11 kills right there. 4 of them came for that. Just a highlight of the season already. We can already confirm that. If you missed the round 1, just go back to watch that. It's worth watching. Really good stuff coming from this kind of the amateur team that is the only one out of the entire PWM and has been doing well so far today to get themselves in the top kill charts, just right behind Genji Gold.
So the next matchup will be 2 days from now on Wednesday, May 23rd. It will be Group B and Group D, all 20 teams going head-to-head here. Of course, we will have a Freak of Freaks Aries coming into that one. So the first place team from day 1. And of course, Bond Spirit Gaming Luna, BSG and Luna, they got 2nd place in the 2nd day that we had, but a very aggressive team. Also ROG Centurion will be another team to look out for, the recent winners of PSS Finals.
But woeful performance out of that PSS Finals coming from BSG Luna and KSV No Title, obviously now Genji Black. Yeah. They'll be back to play on Wednesday and see if they can catch back up, because Genji Gold, after their woeful performance at PSS Final, they picked it right back up to get 1st place overall.
Yeah, so definitely looking forward to that. I feel like, Joel, you and I are slowly getting better at casting this PUBG thing. It's been a lot of fun. Every day I come down here, and thank you guys for watching, of course. I know we don't have that many viewers right now, and I feel like just the word hasn't really gotten out about a lot of these Korean tournaments.
If you're watching this right now, tell your dad, tell your mom, tell your cats, tell your brothers, whatever it may be.
Especially your cats.
Cats can be additional viewers, but just don't tell your bots, because we don't want any bots in our viewer system. Just talking about real people and real cats. That's all we want for our viewers, to tell everyone around that PWM is going on Mondays and Wednesday, same time every day, and you'll just see us bright in face, just getting to the PUBG action every single day here.
Yeah, and it's not just PWM, it's just so much PUBG action happening all the time in Korea. So, so many great teams out here. You guys are going to see them in the invitationals as well when they eventually make it over there. So it's good to get ahead and be the hipsters of the Korean League for sure. Shout out to you guys, but that's going to do it for our broadcast. Thanks once again for watching. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.